Look at this French Open. Just look at it. The world number one is out. The defending champion is injured and gone. And somehow, a 39-year-old man who was supposed to be finished, who everyone wrote off, who lost his best friend and rival when Nadal retired, and admitted he didn't know why he was still playing anymore, that man is still standing, still fighting, still here. And today he walks onto court Philippe-Chatrier and faces a 19-year-old who wasn't even born when Djokovic played his first Grand Slam. This isn't just a tennis match. This is the whole story of sport, compressed into one afternoon in Paris. Let me take you back to June 2025. Djokovic had just lost to Sinner in the French Open semifinals. The crowd gave him a standing ovation. And as he was leaving the court, he stopped. He put his bags down. He turned around. He pressed his hand to his heart. He kissed his fingers and touched the clay, like he was saying goodbye. And in the press, the two players everyone assumed would be fighting for this title are already on planes home. Novak Djokovic is the last man standing from the top of this sport. Now think about what happened to Sinner, world number one. 30-match winning streak coming into this tournament. 5 Masters titles already in 2026 alone. The draw completely open. This was supposed to be his French Open, his moment, his coronation. And he was serving for the match at 5-1 in the third set against a player ranked 56 in the world. 1 game away, and his body just stopped. 15 consecutive points lost. He couldn't move. He couldn't breathe. He was gone. The biggest opportunity of his career, and it slipped through his fingers in the Paris heat. And Alcaraz, who completed the career Grand Slam at 22 years old in January, already eliminated too. The two men who were supposed to own the next decade of tennis, both gone before the second week. And the 39-year-old is still here. Now, I need you to understand something about Djokovic that most people gloss over because they get lost in the statistics and the Grand Slam records. When Nadal retired, Djokovic admitted something that genuinely surprised everyone. He said, "When Rafa left, I thought, what do I do now? I didn't think it would affect me this way. I felt like a part of me had gone with him. On the court, I felt discouraged." It took him 6 months to find the joy of tennis again. 6 months. The greatest tennis player who ever lived, lost and completely adrift, because the man who pushed him to become everything he became was no longer across the net. And when you hear that, when you really sit with it, this French Open takes on a completely different meaning. Because Djokovic isn't here chasing a record. He already has 24 Grand Slams. He has nothing left to prove to anyone on this planet. He is here because somewhere inside that 39-year-old body, he found a reason to keep going when every logical argument said stop. And now, on the other side of the net today is João Fonseca, 19 years old, Brazilian. The kind of talent that comes along once in a generation. He came back from 2 sets down in the second round, the first time in his career he had ever won a 5-set match, showing exactly the kind of mental strength that separates good players from great ones. He is everything the future of tennis promises to be. Fast, powerful, fearless, and completely unburdened by the weight of history. He has dreamed about this match his entire life, and that is exactly what makes it so dangerous for Djokovic. Because Fonseca has nothing to lose and everything to gain. And Djokovic has already given everything and somehow keeps finding more. Here's the question I want you to think about. If Djokovic wins this French Open, not just this match, but the whole tournament, what does that mean? Not for the record books, not for the statistics. What does it mean for the story of tennis? The greatest player who ever lived, at 39 years old, winning Roland Garros in the year the new generation self-destructed around him. In the city where he won his Olympic gold medal, the moment he called the greatest of his career. In the tournament he kissed goodbye 12 months ago and then showed up to anyway. That would not just be a sports story. That would be one of the greatest human stories ever told on a tennis court. And even if he loses today, even if Fonseca's youth and energy and hunger prove too much, none of that changes what this week already means. Because while everyone was watching the favorites fall, While the world was focused on Sinner's collapse and Alcaraz's exit, Novak Djokovic quietly reminded this sport of something it was starting to forget. That greatness doesn't have an expiry date. That the body breaks down, but something else, something harder to explain and impossible to manufacture, does not. That the last dance doesn't end until the dancer decides it's over, and he hasn't decided yet. So I want to know what you think. Is Djokovic winning this French Open the greatest story tennis has ever seen? Or is it proof that the next generation still isn't ready to take what's theirs? Tell me in the comments, because this conversation is just getting started.